Hi everyone, welcome to the GameChanger scorekeeping demo for Rocky Mountain School of Baseball. This demo is kicking off for the Easter tournament, but it can be used for any other tournament that you guys use with GameChanger and RMSB. So I'm going to go through how to log into GameChanger, find your game, a little bit of scorekeeping, and also some housekeeping notes about the GameChanger website and where you can find the GameChanger information on the RMSB website. Please feel free to email me any questions that you may have after you go through the scorekeeping demo. You can reach me at Kyleigh, KYLEIGH, @gc.com. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have leading up to your tournament. Okay, so first and foremost, you guys are going to be provided a specific login for these tournaments. Your tournament page on GameChanger is going to look somewhat like this. This is a test tournament page that we set up for RMSB for this purpose. So you're going to have an overview page that has a schedule. There's a schedule results tab that will show the full schedule, the teams, and you'll be able to see the standings right here. This is the online portion. If you're a scorekeeper, you're actually going to be doing everything via an app. So you should be able to see my iPad screen here. So a couple things to keep note of. If you use GameChanger for your regular team throughout the season, GameChanger is available on iOS and Android. However, our tournament platform is a little bit different, and we haven't quite made it to Android yet. So if you are a scorekeeper for a tournament, you will need to have an iOS device. This is an iPad, anything pretty much after an iPad 1, an iPhone, or even some iPod touches. On the RMSB website, we created a little bit of a FAQ for you guys. So there's also what devices can I use to keep score and device compatibility. If you click on this link, it'll tell you the operating system you will need to have downloaded. Again, it's usually just iPad 1 that can't update to the latest operating system. So just double check your device compatibility with your iOS device. So again, you have to use, as a scorekeeper, you have to use an Apple device. So an iPad, an iPhone, or even maybe an iPod Touch. For parents and fans, however, they can follow on any device via the mobile website, or they can follow via the GameChanger app on iOS or Android. Okay, so like I said, you guys are going to have a specific login for your tournament. This will be provided to you before your tournament. It's going to be a generic login. For example, Utah Blues at RMSB.com, possibly. So this login and password will be given to you, and this will give you access to score for the tournament page. If you guys already use GameChanger, this is going to be a separate login than what you normally use. So if you already use a GameChanger and say you're the Utah Blues, for example, and you score throughout your regular season, this is going to be a separate version of that team specific to the tournament. So if you guys are still keeping score on GameChanger under your regular team and you're the home team, please provide a second scorekeeper that can score under the tournament page. Similarly, if you guys don't have a second scorekeeper or there's nobody on your team that has an iOS device and you're the home team, you can relinquish the scorekeeping duties to the visiting team. Just go up to them at the game or before the game and ask if they can actually score the game on GameChanger for this tournament. Again, home team is responsible for scoring for RMSB tournament on GameChanger, but for whatever reason, if you cannot score under this account, you can relinquish those duties for the visiting team. Also, only one team can keep score per game. So if you are SBA at Utah Dirtbags, for example, Utah Dirtbags is the home team. They need to keep score. You both cannot keep score. The reason being is these games are set up head-to-head. They will go, the results and the live scoring will go to the tournament page. It'll go to both individual team pages for the tournament, but it's one stream. So if both teams are scoring, there could be a conflict of data. Before we get started, a couple more housekeeping notes. You do not have to have a 3G or Wi-Fi connection to score these games. Now, if there's no 3G data plan or Wi-Fi connection on your device during the game, it obviously will not score live, so parents and fans who are not at the game will not be able to follow live. However, the information is stored right there in the app, and as soon as you get home to the hotel or wherever you can establish a Wi-Fi connection, you just open up the app and it will sync all the information to the website and to other people's devices that they can follow. One thing to note, if you know that you have maybe a Wi-Fi only iPad, for example, and you might not have Wi-Fi at the field, please note you need to log in to the app via the login and password that we provide you when you're at home or somewhere you have that 3G connection, and make sure that the information syncs down to the device. While you can score offline, all this information is being uploaded to our servers, and it's not on your device automatically unless it gets connected. So when you log in, so you download the GameChanger app. So for example, it's going to look like this, GameChanger app. There'll be a login screen. We will provide you a login and password. So these three horizontal lines right here at the top, if I just tap this, you're not going to have all this information. With this login, you should only have one. It'll say probably RMSB Easter tournament or something the like once we create this tournament for you. I had a scorekeeper last night who said that they might be a scorekeeper for two of their kids' teams that are both playing an Easter tournament, different age divisions. You will more than likely, if that's the case, you will more than likely have two different logins, one per team. However, we might be able to set you guys up with one login that you can use. If that's the case, you'll see, for example, if it's a Turkey Trot 8U and Turkey Trot 10U. Just make sure that when you score under the right tournament. So when you log in for the first time, remember you have to have a 3G or Wi-Fi connection when you log in for the first time. It should automatically read the data, but if you push this little horizontal or this little circular arrow here, it's just going to sync everything with the website. So you'll see reading data. You might see a little syncing icon that appears right here, and it'll read the data, and then you should see the tournament. So for this first tournament, it'll be the Easter tournament. If you're watching this later on throughout the year for another tournament, it'll be labeled whatever tournament you're in. So I'm going to tap on this Turkey Trot 8U, and the screen's going to come over. So this is a little bit different if you guys use this for GameChanger for your normal team. This is our tournament page. As you can see, it is separated by dates up here. So when you go to find your game that you're scorekeeping, all you need to do is tap on the date. So if today is Friday, November 10th, for example, I'm going to tap on that date, make sure it appears. I can toggle to the 11th if I need to. Okay, so I'm going to tap on the date. And I'm going to find my game. So let's just say I'm the Utah Blues and I have the 8 a.m. game at Heritage Park. So I'm going to tap on this game right here. And it's going to ask me to download game. So I'm going to download the game. Again, this would be great if you had a connection when you did this. Just to make sure if we had any changes to rosters after you first logged in, that it comes down. But as soon as it downloads the game, it'll say ready. Tap ready. And then you won't need to edit the game details for these, especially the pool games. So you're just going to say score game. All right, so it's going to go in game. Now, for the pool games especially, I believe that the home and away teams might already be set. If they're not, you can either leave as is if the coin flip has not happened. Hopefully by this time you know who's home and away, since the home team will be scoring. So if you already know who's home and away and it's set appropriately, you can leave it as is, or just make sure I can say Utah Blues are home. All right, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to set the lineup. So when the coaches give you the lineup, all you're going to do is add from bench. We should have the rosters in there already for you. I will show you how to add a player if need be, if for whatever reason the player was not entered in on the roster online. But you will not have these numbers here. So for the very first couple games that you may score, so the first game for that particular team, there will not be any numbers. After that, the remainder of the tournament, there will be numbers entered. I would just double check the numbers just in case. For example, some teams, if they have a red and a blue jersey, a kid might be number 2 on the red jersey, number 5 on the blue jersey. You might need to edit that information if need be. Hopefully that's not a common occurrence, but I will show you how to do that. So let's just say we don't have numbers or we need to edit numbers. So I'm going to actually tap on, let me go back. So I'm actually going to set my lineup first. I'll show you how to edit the numbers later. So we're gonna set my lineup. So you have a lineup in front of you, and all you have to do is tap the players in the order that they appear in the lineup. So we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, say 9, and I'm done. Now for pool play, depending on your tournament rules, if you're allowed to bat more than 9, you can select as many players as you want. So now I said done, you see that I have my lineup set, and I have, they're all marked as EHs right now, okay? So if for whatever reason I come back here and I see that, oops, I tapped out of order a little bit, no problem. Just tap on or touch one of these like 3 horizontal lines right here, and you can drag and you can fix the lineup right here. All right, so I set my batting order. Now I need to go in and set the positions. So tap on the very first batter again. Now I'm going to go down looking at the lineup card. I'm going to set the positions. Okay, so I'm going to hit the position, and then I'm going to just hit the down arrows every time. Okay. And as you can see, as I'm selecting it, these are being marked off at the top, so I can kind of keep an eye on it, make sure I'm doing it right. All right. So I got all 9. You can see they're all checked off. Now I'm going to say back. Okay, so I'm good there. Okay, there's the Utah team. Now we're going to go to this next team. All right, and before I set this lineup, I'm going to show you how to correct those numbers, actually. So instead of lineup, I go to roster. I should see the roster there. Now, if I just tap on this first player, for example, all right, then I'm going to tap on his name again where it says edit player details. And from here, this is where you're going to add the number the very first time that the teams play during the tournament. You'll add the number. All right, so the very first game or two that you're going to score might have a little extra time setting those numbers. But after that, after the numbers have been set, they should be good to go for the rest of the tournament. If for whatever reason I need to edit the number, I can edit the number in this information. All right. All right, so now I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to lineup. And I'm going to set the lineup again. So add from bench. All right. I'm going to tap the order they appear in the lineup. Select done. All right. And again, now I'm going to tap the leadoff batter again. All right. Now I'm going to go through the positions. Setting those positions. Again, looking at the scorecard to make sure that I'm setting the positions right. This will just help you throughout the game. All right, so for the first team, my pitcher was batting. Let's just say we have a DH, okay? So this 9-hole hitter is actually going to be my DH for this purpose. So I'm going to select DH as the position. All right. Now you can see this area came up that says hitting for. I'm going to tap that. I'm going to select one of my other players who's on the bench. And I'm going to select this person's pitcher, for example. All right. Now when I select back, I can see I have my batting 9, I have a DH, and my pitcher who's in the game is not hitting. Okay? So that's how we set up our lineup and our roster. For whatever reason, we need to create a new player. We can do so here. Tap in their name and number. Numbers are most important for scorekeepers once that happens, and possibly the last name. But if you can get their full name and number, that might help. Definitely helps if there's brothers on the team. And there are 2 people with the same last name. All right, so now just to walk you through this a little bit. So we have our lineups right here. I can toggle back and forth. The plays tab is where you're going to see, you can go back and you can see the plays that is happening. I'll show you in a little bit how you can edit certain information. You'll see the line score. If I tap on the scorebook's going to be populating as I score, automatically created. And then the stats will also populate if you need to go and look for any kind of stats. But you might not need, as a scorekeeper for a tournament, might not need to look at this right away. All right. And then over here, we have our scoreboard up at the top. You can see what inning it is, the count, how many outs, the score. And then it'll always show you who's at bat and who's pitching. Okay, and I'll come over this in a little bit more in a little ways. All right. So you can see that this pitch button is highlighting. Now, before we get started, we want to make sure that our advanced fielding is turned on. The reason for this is if the advanced fielding is not turned on, it won't give all the appropriate stats such as assists and putouts. This will allow you to throw the ball around the field. So, for example, if the ball was hit to shortstop and the out was at first, you'll be able to show that the shortstop got the assist and the first baseman got the putout. And I'll explain that here in a minute. But just to make sure, tap on this menu button at the very top. All right, you're going to tap on Settings. And then you are going to scroll down, and you're going to just make sure that this advanced fielding is turned on to green. The app, if it's the very first time you've logged in and scored, it might go ahead and ask you to turn on advanced fielding, but just double check. And after this is set, it will stay on for the remainder of the tournament unless you select otherwise. That's really the only one you need to go. You could enable the game clock, but the game clock counts up. It won't count down. And as of right now, we're working to change that, but it won't count down and alert you when if it's a timed game. So you can turn on if you want to keep an eye on it. But that's really the only one you'll need to do. The other thing you can actually do is if there are pitch counts limits for the tournament, you can actually set pitch count alert limits. You can do this for your regular team too if you score during a your regular season. So you can say, okay, I want to be alerted the first time when this pitcher hits 35 pitches, or any pitcher hits 35 pitches, and then the second alert when he hits 45, whatever it may be. You can select that, and the app will actually alert you when that threshold has been hit. All right, so let's get started scoring a couple plays. Everything starts by touching the pitcher now. So I tap pitch. What happened? We'll say it was a called strike. That pitch menu will stay up because the next possible thing that's going to happen is another pitch. So the next one will say it was a ball in play, and we'll say it was a hard ground ball. Single. Okay. So when I select that pitch menu will go away and you'll see the gloves. So what you're going to want to do is drag the fielder to where they picked up the ball. Okay, and release. That's how our spray charts are made. So if you actually come over here and you see and you go, I'm going to select on this team, the Harriman team, since they're actually batting, you actually be able to make sure you kind of see where we are in the lineup over here. All right, so let's do another one again. We'll say pitch. Let's do a ball and play. We'll do a ground ball, batter out, and let's do a double play. Double play. Okay, that pitch menu will go around, so we'll say it was hit the shortstop. All right, touch and drag to where the ball was hit. Okay, and then you just need to tap where the ball went. So we'll say 6, 4, tap the second baseman, 3, tap the first baseman, and hit done. All right, and there's my 2 outs. My assists and putouts were automatically created. If you want to look at those spray charts, you can just tap this button right here. Okay, this batter hasn't batted yet, but if I hit the up arrow, that was that last play, and then one more, that was the first hit. So these spray charts are going to be automatically populated. And then, like I said, if I go to the stats, the plays area, you can see that these plays are being populated, the line score is being populated, and also the scorebook. Okay. So we're going to do a couple more plays. So let's do pitch. We'll do, let's just say, hit by pitch. Okay. All right. Let's do another one. Let's put 2 strikes on the batter. Actually, let's do a steal real quick. So let's say there was a ball. Now, let's just say that first baseman or the runner on first base stole. So I need to get this pitch menu out of the way. I just tap anywhere outside that white box. So I'm going to just tap out. All right, I'm going to touch and drag the first baseman, the runner on first base. Drag him over to second. You can see there's a green safe or a red out button. Okay, so what happened? I'll say it was caught stealing. So I'll say release over the out button, select caught stealing, and then I just tap the catcher, tap, say, the shortstop for my assist and my put out, and say done. So that's the end of my half inning. So I'm going to say yes, accept, and switch. Okay, let's do a couple more. Let's do ball and play. We'll say hard ground ball. It was error. All right. Touch and drag where the ball was hit. Throw the ball. Done. All right, now it's going to say who committed the error. I'll say the third baseman committed the error. So I'll tap on Anthony. Now let's just say it was an overthrow, and Garcia was able to make it to second. So I'll just touch and drag, say safe, and then I can pick a slew of different options. So if I just say on same error, it just calculates one error for the play. So one thing, GameChanger is very intuitive to the situation. So it's going to give you all the options that are possible for the situation. So you'll just need to know how you want to score that play. So for example, let me go ahead. I'm gonna place another runner on first base. So I'm gonna just say intentional walk. If there's no, so certain leagues and levels allow an intentional walk to happen without balls being thrown. So that's how you do it that way. Or if you do have to throw balls, say pitch outs and whatnot, I just simply tap 4 balls. So if I tap 4 balls, it will go against the pitch count. If you guys are a tournament or a league that can just intentionally walk somebody without pitches being thrown, you can just say intentional walk, and it will not go against the pitch count. All right. So we have a runner first and second. Let me put 2 strikes on the batter. All right. So what I mean by intuitive is it only gives you an option that's possible. So as I can see here, I have 2 strikes on the batter, but I don't see a drop third strike. The reason being is first base is occupied and there's less than 2 outs. So let's change that scenario. So we're going to say there was a ball. Now we'll say that it was a wild pitch. So I'm going to tap anywhere outside this area, and we'll say that Garcia advanced to third. Again, we're going to say a wild pitch. I was a catcher. There's no such thing as a pass ball. I'm kidding. But so we have that wild pitch. Now that runner at first made it to second, and we can just say on same pitch. So it just credited that one wild pitch. All right, now first base is not occupied. So let's try it again. Pitch. Now drop third strike appears. So I'm going to say drop third strike. It was swinging. And we'll say safe on first, pass ball. All right. So now we have, you can see that all the runners advance at one base. So we have an option here. I can say Garcia was out. So if I selected out, we can, obviously he was thrown out at home. I can say safe, so he scored on that pass ball, or I can just say back. So I'm going to say back. We'll say the ball was just bobbled a little bit. All right, a couple more plays. Let's do ball and play. We're going to do a hard ground ball. And we're going to do a double. All right, again, touch, drag. So Boardman got a double, so we know that these two people advanced to home. Now what happened? We'll say this person was safe. All right. So that's one RBI. This batter was safe. A runner was safe. That's the second RBI. Now we're going to say that White came home. We can say was really safe. And I want to point out here that you can either say on throw or on last play. If I say on last play, that means White's head was down. He was rounding third base, going on that hit. And you, as a scorekeeper, it's your discretion that you want to give that batter that third RBI. You can definitely do that. If you say on throw, you're saying that White came home based on something that the defense did. Therefore, if that, maybe it was fielded cleanly, or if it wasn't thrown maybe to the second baseman or whatnot, or behind the runner, then that runner would have not been safe, and you don't want to give that third RBI. You can just say on throw. The other thing, so I just canceled that real quick by hitting outside the box. I can say the person was out. I can say out on last play. We'll say that the right fielder threw the ball to the catcher and hosed him at home, and say done. All right, now we have one out. All right, the other situation I want to show you real quick before I move on to substitutions is we'll do another one. We'll do pitch, ball and play, hard ground ball. Let's just say it was a single, touch and drag. All right, so on that single, GameChanger's automatically going to move. So Marty got one base with the single, so we're going to move the other runners up one base as well. But that batter very well couldn't have advanced. So we're just simply touch and drag him back, release over the green safe, and just say didn't advance. All right. So as I mentioned earlier, this will always show who's at bat, but it also shows the pitcher. So if I tap this pitcher button right here, I can actually view the pitch counts for everybody that's pitched in the game on both sides. It'll show how many pitches they've thrown, strikes and strike percentage. If they've thrown more than one inning, I can tap on them and it'll break it down by inning as well, if that's information that you need to view. All right, so substitutions. A couple different things. Substitutions can get a little tricky. So I highly suggest you introduce yourself to both coaches. Obviously, your coach will know who you are. Introduce yourself to the visiting team coach. Let them know that you're the official scorekeeper, and just ask that you make sure that you know what changes are being made. Maybe not just official score substitutions, but also maybe some switch around. So, for example, let's just say the second baseman and the center fielder switch, and it's not a lineup change. They just switch positions. So technically, they obviously don't have to let you know, but for scorekeeping purposes, it's just going to be better if you do. So to make this switch, all I do is I can tap one of them. So I'll tap the second baseman. All right, replacing. So if I just select one of these fielders, so I'm going to select the center fielder. All right. It puts the center fielder there. As you can see, center field is not occupied. So if it wasn't just a simple switch, I could move people all around the field, but I'm just going to tap that center field. And then here's my batter without a position because we removed him from second base. I'm going to say Middleton. And all they did was just swap those positions. So if I go back down here to their lineup, you'll be able to sell that Middleton and Porter didn't switch the batting order, just switch positions. Okay. A straight substitution, the easiest thing to do is to tap. So we'll say the pitcher's coming out of the game. So I can tap him right here. All right. Sub out a lineup. And just putting somebody else who was on the bench. So say Sherwood is now pitching. Straight substitution. Simple as that. You can do that with anybody else. So if it's straight substitution, you'll want to do it right here. It's super easy. All right. Now let's say it's like a double switch situation. Okay. So you see now that the third baseman is now somebody different. All right. So I'm going to tap right here on this third baseman. And I can see that actually it's somebody from the bench. So actually, I'm going to put somebody from the field. Sorry. So I'm going to say that the left fielder came into third base. So I'm going to tap in Kent. So now Kent is at third base. His position did not, or his batting order did not change. It's his position. You can see left field is not occupied. And number 1 right here, he is highlighted red. So we know something's up with this. We can keep scoring if need be. If it goes back around to the lineup and number 1 comes up to bat, it's going to ask you, hey, is this person still batting? But let's go ahead and fix this right now. We'll tap the left fielder position. Now we're going to put somebody from the bench. So we're going to say Eggers is now in the game right here. All right, so now we see that he's not batting because we haven't actually made that substitution, okay? So now I'm going to actually, I can score this if I'm not sure what happened. And again, once they're back up to bat, it will actually ask you, but we can go ahead and select Morosco. We're going to resolve this substitution. We're going to say we're subbing out of the lineup, and Eggers actually went in to substitute in for him. I hope that makes sense. That is the most confusing thing that will happen with a scorekeeper. If you don't know exactly what's happening and you only see, for example, the opposing team, you see they've moved around a little bit, go ahead and move them around here if you need to. And then once they come up to bat, you can figure out how that transpired. If you have any questions about this, please feel free to email me. All right. So that was substitutions. Let's go ahead and finish this inning. We'll do a ball in play, hard ground ball. We'll say fielder's choice. All right. So one thing to keep note is I'm sure all you guys are expert scorekeepers, but just wanted to go over this really quick just in case somebody is new to scoring for baseball. So a fielder's choice, there doesn't have to be an out necessarily. While there more than likely, more times than not, there is an out designated. It doesn't have to be an out. So what you're saying is, let's just say that the pitcher fielded it, okay? So I touch and drag and it threw to third base. Now I say done. Now it's going to ask me to resolve these runners. So we're going to say that the runner at second is definitely safe. Now, I can select out on this this individual, the runner at third base, or I can select safe. So if I select safe, what I am saying as a scorekeeper, I'm saying that if the pitcher would have chosen to throw to first base to try to attempt that and get that batter out, that batter would have still been safe. So we're saying that that would have been out. Excuse me. That runner would have been out, even if this person was safe. So you're saying that it's not a single because if the pitcher would have chosen to throw to first base, then that person would have been out. So that's why it's not a single. Okay? I hope that makes sense. So I can say safe or out, but we'll say it was a really easy throw. It was out. All right, so again, a fielder's choice, if the runner would have been safe no matter what, based on your discretion, you can count it as a single, okay? But if the fielder would have chosen to try to get the batter out, and they would have been out, then it's a fielder's choice. All right, hope that makes sense. All right, so we're going to end the inning. All right. We're just going to strike this person out, accept an advance. Okay, let's just say I'm at the end of my game. It's not the second inning. It's like the fifth. But we're going to go ahead and finalize this game. So when you're ready to finalize this game, select menu, game over. All right. Now, it's going to know which team won or lost. So with these, I didn't make any – actually, I might have made one substitution with the pitcher. But we'll say Homestead was a winning pitcher. There was only one pitcher on that team. That team won, so they're the winning pitcher. Losing pitcher. Okay. So it knows which team lost, but you're going to have to select which pitcher won or lost the game. I can't remember. I think I had Sherwood starting the game, and I believe that's when they scored. I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look, but let's just say Sherwood was the losing pitcher. You can select save and blown save if you'd like to. You don't need to, though. So winning, losing pitcher, save, and finalize game. So again, you as a scorekeeper will just need to know who gets a win or loss if there's more than one pitcher on that team. If you have any questions about that, feel free to email me, and I'd be happy to explain the winning and losing pitcher scenarios if you're new to scorekeeping. I won't go over here just for the sake of time. All right, so now I just say exit game. All right, now you can see if I scroll down to the bottom right here, it's going to sync the data because I'm connected. This game is already scored. And now if you have another game at a different field, you'd be able to score that. Or tomorrow, for example, you could score the next game. So one thing to keep note. So just make sure that it's the two team names, especially the pool games. We should have the schedule in for you. Just select the time. And it should have the location there. Now, let's just say when it comes to once we get into bracket play, and let's just say everything's happening that day, people are getting eliminated, people are advancing, and you go to your schedule and it says TBD. I'm going to show you how to select this real quick before we move on. All right. So I'm going to tap on the game. Again, I'm going to say download game. Okay. Tap on it one more time. Edit game details this time because it doesn't have any team names. So I'll select the home and away team. By tapping these, it will be in alphabetical order with the team names there. Simple as that. Say done. Now I tap it. I download the game one more time, and it says ready to score, and I can score a game. All right. So let me go back. I actually want to show one more thing. In that game I scored, after I finalize the game, I'm just going to say resume scoring. It's not going to open back up the game live, but I just want to show one thing real quick. If I tap on the stats button, there's a PDF button right here. So you can actually send this PDF box score. It's automatically created right after the game. If I tap this little arrow, again, you do have to be connected to 3G or Wi-Fi for this. I can actually email this directly to an email designated by Rocky Mountain. So Rocky Mountain, if you guys want them to email box scores to a certain email address, they can do that. If this was an iPad that had a 3G data plan, or if my messaging was set up on this device, I could send a text message as well. But I don't have that set up on this device. All right. So again, after you finalize the game, you can just say stats, PDF, and that's it. All right. So last few minute touch-ups, and then we can be done. So after you're done scoring for the tournament, you can log out if you'd like to. So by tapping these three horizontal lines right here, it's reading my data, so there we go. I have a lot. Ignore all this. You won't have this menu to scroll through. All right. You can say your account if you would like to, and you'd be able to sign out, okay? Especially those that might have to log into another account. The other thing, too, is download this app. So on our Android or our iOS version, you can practice scorekeeping now. So you can try scorekeeping. This will actually pull up a practice mode. You won't have to set lineups. It'll already be set for you, and it won't sync with anything. So you can sit in front of your TV. You could watch a college game or any MLB games if they're starting to go on being broadcasted, and you can just practice. Get familiar with it, and you'll be good to go there. All right, but again, just to emphasize one more time, for this tournament, you will have to score on an iOS device. All right, so a couple things. What do parents see? So parents can see if you score 3G or Wi-Fi, they'll actually be able to follow the game live. So let me see if I can go to one I'm just a fan of. I don't know if I just have a fan account on this account right here. So I can admin of all these. All right, so let me log out, and I'll log in with one that we have. Let's see here. Oops. All right, so while that's updating, we'll go over a few things that parents and fans. I'm going to go over the pricing real quick. All right, so for free, parents and fans are going to be able to see the game and practice schedule. So you won't have any practice schedules for this tournament. If you scored with your regular team, you'd be able to set that and see that, so they can see the game schedules. They'd be able to see any messages that were posted, so any in-game start notifications. So if there was a delay and the scorekeeper types a rain delay in there, or a schedule got changed, or for a regular team with regular season, there's actually team communication where a coach can send a message out to parents or players or a certain group of parents. That's all free. So all the team management type stuff is free. And also the animated game. So I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to show you what that animated game looks like. There's not a live game, I don't believe. Let's see if there's a live game being scored right now. Let's see here. Oh, there are actually some live games being scored. So let's tap into one of these games. So this is the animated game stream that is free for your parents and fans to follow. So this is loading, and actually, yeah, it looks like it is live. So they'd be able to follow this game depending on how if you have that 3G or Wi-Fi connection, depending on how fast that connection is and what's going on in the game. They would be able to follow this information. So they'd be able to see this game stream right here. Now this play-by-play is under our Plus subscription. So if your team uses GameChanger during the normal season and your parents or fans already follow and have a subscription, that one subscription will work for the tournament as well. They won't have to purchase anything separately. With that Plus subscription, it's $2.99 a month or $30 a year. This subscription is for any and every team on GameChanger. So this tournament team, your team during the regular season, the high school team, the softball team, whatnot, they'd be able to follow. It would include the live play-by-plays, the box score, and then the recap story. So right after a game is finalized, we automatically generate a recap story. So this play-by-play and box score would be included in the Plus subscription. But again, they'd be able to follow this live features and see the score and that game information absolutely free. Now, if they want to see the season stats or the cumulative stats for this tournament or the spray charts, then they would purchase a premium subscription, which is $7.99 a month or $50 a year. And again, that one purchase is good for any and every team on GameChanger that they want to view under their account. The only difference is now the season stats and spray charts will not be privatized for a tournament, but if you score regularly throughout your season, coaches can select to privatize season stats and spray charts entirely, or they can select that parents can only see their son and daughter stats. So if you're following a team that has these stat privacy walls, you may not be able to view this if the coach does not allow you to. All right. So this is what the animated game stream looks like. So again, parents and fans would be able to view this information, the different levels of information depending on the level that they have. So again, team management stuff, announcements, schedule updates, game start alerts. This animated game stream is free, and then they can choose to purchase a premium subscription with anything else. All right. So on the Rocky Mountain School Baseball, their website, there's actually a GameChanger FAQ area where you can look through here. But also, they will post a scoreboard widget. So I'll show you what the scoreboard widget will look like. Once the tournament is created, I will give them a code that they can post this scoreboard on their website for the tournament that you are looking to follow. So your parents and fans can actually go to their website. It'll be under their schedule and their, I believe their highlight section, where you can not only scroll through the different schedules, but if a game is being scored live, it'll actually be highlighted, and they can click on a game and get taken right to that game from that website. So again, there's a GameChanger area, but from the tournament schedule page, you'll be able to see the scoreboard widget. All right, and the last thing I want to show you, I'm going to go back to the scorekeeping. Okay, I've logged back into the tournament page because I wanted to go over one more thing with you about editing. So let me go back to this game that I scored earlier. And I'm going to resume scorekeeping. All right, let's just say I need to make it an edit. So one thing is you can edit a single to an error, error to a single. So let's just see. Let me go through here. All right, so let's go to this very first play. So I'm going to tap on the play. I'm going to say edit play. See where it says 1B-7? I'm going to tap on that, say error, save, finish editing. All right, so you can, it'll update the stats automatically. Again, error to single, single to error. Anything else, you might have to mark the play, and you can add a note on the play. You can say this needs to be changed to an error, to a single or to a double or whatnot, and then we can edit the stats later if need be. All right. The other thing you can do is, let's just say you miss a substitution. So let's just say, we missed a pitching change right here. I can say edit play. The pitcher was not Eggers. It was Helm from the bench. And then I can select, if it came in the middle of a count, I say only that change this play. Or I can say change remaining defensive plays, save, and then finish editing. And it will update those stats for the pitcher from that point forward if you miss a change. It could be any kind of substitution you need to change. All right, and then actually the last thing I want to show you, I apologize, I forgot to do this during the game. Let's just say, I don't know if you guys do international tiebreaker or not, or California tiebreaker, whatever your league calls it. But if for whatever reason you need to do a tiebreaker, you need to play somebody on base. I just tap on second, for example, and I can put somebody in. So I actually selected somebody from the bench, but typically it's the last batted out. All right, and then you're good to start. The other thing too is, let's just say this person, or let's do a single real quick. Ball and play, hard ground ball, single. All right, touch and drag. Let's say I need a pinch runner or a courtesy runner. You can select that. Now, just note, pinch runner will be a substitution. So if Porter gets re-entered when they go back on to defense, you'll need to make that substitution. Courtesy runner will not be a substitution. So I can put a courtesy runner in there, and then you won't have to worry about making a substitution. Ignore special pinch runner. That's a rule for Little League. So again, you can just tap on them, make that substitution there as well. All right. Again, I hope I answered all your questions. Please feel free to email me. My email is Kylie, KYLEIGH, @gc.com with any questions that you have. We want to wish you good luck on scorekeeping. We hope you have a great tournament, and thank you so much for spending time with us. Have a great day.